All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, beginning of the week. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Found some smoking deals. Wanted to go over a couple of things with you before we get into those, though. Um, these are some of the picks that I had last week, and you can see they're already been sold or pending. I knew this was a good deal. I just knew it. And these, of course, were just a smoking deal. Hopefully, one of you guys got one of these deals that are watching. I've gotten some good feedback from everybody. I appreciate all my friends and family that are watching this and helping support the channel and giving me feedback. So in the description below, I'm going to be posting the links to all the deals that I found today that are going to be in this video so that you can keep track and you can just quickly click and find the deal so you're not having to go back through my video and figure out which city it was and where it was and all that stuff. So that was a tip that somebody gave me. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I will be implementing that throughout the remainder of the shows. Oh, the other one that sold really quick, which I knew, of course, Mega Cab Cummins for 6 grand. Come on now, that wasn't going to last long at all. So, anyway, those have disappeared. Um, and along with others, there was a black crew cab Tundra, and that one disappeared. Oh yeah, the look at that, the S2000 sold already. So yeah, I mean. Yes, these are good deals, guys. I'm telling you. If you are interested in any of these kind of cars, there's money to be made on almost every deal that I post on here. So uh, we're going to start today off with a Daihatsu. Oh my goodness! See this? I like that when they um, miss miswrite the title because it makes it for easier for other people to find. This is a Scout 80. Makes it easy. It doesn't make it easy. It makes it harder for other people to find. Sorry. Um, this one is a winner. I'm telling you, hands down, these Scout 80s are a hot little item. They sell completely restored for 15 to $20,000. And this one is actually the more I looked at it, the better I liked it. Look at how clean this is. Very rarely are Scout 80s this rust free. This one is, and I'm not saying it's rust free. I don't know. You're gonna have to go look at it yourself. Floors could be rotted out for all I know. I'm just looking at the pictures. From the pictures that I see, this is a really good deal, guys. Really good deal. You do not see Scout 80s in with a body this good for this price. $1,000. There it is. There you have it. You are, there's no way to lose on this one from what I can see here. Again, I have not looked at it in person, so if you need to still do your own verifications, but this one is a moneymaker here. I'm telling you, this is a good deal. Research these scouts if you're interested. This is a cool one. If you want to drive it yourself for a while, these are awesome. These are great little billy goats up in the mountains. They will climb just about everything. Lots of fun to drive. I really enjoyed my time in all these little scouts that I've had over the years. This one, in my opinion, hands down, a total winner. If you can't, yeah, well. I'm not going to make financial promises on here, but I'm telling you, there's no reason why I can't see any reason why you cannot double, triple your money on this one for sure. Okay, let's move on here to 57 Cadillac. Okay, so this one I found, believe it or not, look at this, Fargo, North Dakota. Um, and what's interesting about this one, I'll tell you, is one, it's a two-door hardtop, and two, I don't see much rust, considering it's up in North Dakota. Actually, I don't think there's much rust in Dakotas. It's when you get to like Minnesota and Iowa and down through there, that's really where the rust really starts. So this one is fairly clean. You can see that it does have some, obviously got moss all over it, or what do you call this? But this can wash off. I think that this one's a good buy at 4 grand. It's got matching hubcaps all the way around. Those hubcaps sell for quite a bit of money. Um, unfortunately, I don't see the interior. I'm hoping that he opened this door to take the picture and then they just never posted a picture because I'm hoping that door hasn't been opened for, however long this thing's been sitting here. I don't think it has. I still think this is a winner. I wish there was some interior pics, but I'm pretty confident that there's money to be made on this one. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I am pretty confident. 57 Caddy. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with a two-door Cadillac. Okay. And again, the links are in the description. Also, guys, I've had people reaching out saying, "Hey, can you find this car for me?" So if you're looking for a specific car, or a specific model or something like that that you want me to find deals on, go ahead and post them in the comments, and I will put them on my daily search route. So I will start adding them to the search, and I'll call you out during the video if I find something that you were looking for. Okay. So anyway, this one again, I'm telling you that I am pretty sure this is a smoking deal. I would love to see under the hood of this thing. I'm a little nervous it didn't have a motor because the way it's sitting, but I just think that that's just Cadillac. It just sinks in the back there. I it's a pretty good. Even if it doesn't have a motor, I think this is still a good deal. But I am pretty sure that it's got a motor. I bet this is complete. I bet this is a complete car. Man, that'll be a beautiful one. White. Looks like it has white interior too, so white on white. That's going to be a beautiful ride. And it won't take much. This is just a lot of soap and water here, boys. A lot of soap and water. Clean this bad boy up, and I guarantee you can make some money on that one. Okay, next one is a unibody Ford. I don't know if you guys know about these unibody Fords, but they're getting more and more popular. This is not the big window. If you can find a big window one, those are even more popular. Let's see. Let me make sure it's not a big window. Yeah, it's just a regular window. So the big windows wrap all the way around, and they're even more popular and even harder to find. But this one is a pretty clean one. Usually in the bed, they're rusty, and the cab mounts right down here in the cab mount. So if you're going to go look at this one, take a look down here in the cab mounts. Make sure that those aren't rusted out. A telltale sign usually if the cab mounts are rusted is if it's rusting in the fender here. If it's rusting in the fender, a lot of times the cab mounts are already rotted. So this one looks pretty clean to me. Montana's famous for not having bad bodies, not having much rust. So I think this is a good one. And I'm telling you, these bring the money. These bring the money. These short unibodies because they have a good look. See, this is when Ford. I don't understand why Ford did this on the unibody, but didn't do it on the rest of their trucks. So remember, on the rest of their trucks, they got this weird squared body line that goes back here, like on 64, 65, 66. They have this straight line, and it looks okay. But at least this one, where it it domes over, it matches the front, right? And so I just think that this is way more appealing and looks much better. Anyway, that's just my opinion. It's another interesting, something else that's interesting, and the reason why Ford quit doing these is if you park these unevenly, like, and I'm talking like not like a couple of inches, but like on a set of railroad tracks or something like that, where it's like really uneven. Um, Sometimes you can't get the doors open, and because the whole body's twisted just a little bit, and so Ford recognized that and decided not to pursue this model because that was a complaint. And the reason we found this out is because a friend of mine put one of these on a four-wheel drive chassis, and every time we went wheeling, if we got him all twisted up too much, he couldn't get out he couldn't get out the passenger door. So anyway, that was funny. Okay, here's another one. I've told you guys before not to sleep on these little Suzukis. This one is pretty clean. Take a look at this one. This is clean bodied. Um, 88 Suzuki runs and drives, it says. Needs seats mounted. I'm not sure what that means, why the seats need mounted, but it does have the hardtop. this is highly sought after, guys, highly sought after. So if you're looking to make some money on a Suzuki or looking to just own one or try one of these out, I'm telling you, these things wheel like nobody's business. These, a lot of people are snagging these up. See, oh, there it is. Look at that. There's exactly what I was just going to say. A lot of people are snagging these up because they don't want to buy a Razor or a side by side. And look at that. It looks like it says Razor right there. So it looks like somebody put side by side seats in it. So, um, anyway, hot little things. I've seen these sell running and driving. A clean examples. I've seen them sell all the way up to like $6,500. So there's plenty of room to be made on this one, guys. If you guys want something like this, this one is in Kansas. I would jump on this if you guys are anywhere close or not even close. Heck, I'd drive a couple states to go get this one. To be honest with you, these are worth the money. And at $2,500, you cannot go wrong on these, especially with a hard top. I mean, these hard tops are starting to get harder and harder to find, and people are starting to sell those for ridiculous amounts. Okay, next one. So this one is interesting. They're posting it for a friend, and they said, it's in rough shape. It's a piece of junk, basically. That's what they're saying. Pretty beat up is what he said. Uh, like he's spraying out the hornet's nest out of it. So obviously it's been sitting there for a while. It's got a pretty good ding right there. Um, but look at that. It's four-wheel drive, guys. That's the money right there. And I think he's trying to pop the hood right now. Yeah. So he's popping the hood. Supposedly has a rebuilt engine in it, and they just never finished it. So anyway, this is a four-wheel drive, three-quarter ton. This is the money, guys. These running and driving sell for 10 grand in this condition. So I would seriously jump on that one. Yeah, that's a good deal. Not a lot of rust. There's not much rust over the wheels, no rust in the fenders, front of the fenders. Matter of fact, I don't even see much rust in the rocker, to be honest with you. A little closer. Yeah, I'm not seeing much as far as rust goes. I mean, that's a pretty clean body. Pretty clean body. Of course, you know how I feel about the truck interiors. Super easy. You can knock one of these out in a weekend. So, uh, the interiors don't scare me at all. Okay, next one. Okay, I'm a little on the border on this one here. I'm a little unsure. I almost didn't save this one, and here's the reason why I saved it. Something went wrong. What does that mean? Come on. What in the world? There we go. I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong with the freaking Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, the reason why I posted this one is it's been in this family since the 70s. The mother drove this to high school. And so it's got a cool backstory. Two, hardly any dents, hardly any rust that I can see. And it's just a nice custom 350 automatic on the column. But I tell you what, you clean this one up, and I bet you could get 65, 75 for it. You know, they removed the vinyl top before it, rotted the roof, so the roof is in good shape. And again, no rust in the quarters. Look at that. It's hard to find any Buicks with no rust in the fenders, no rust in the quarters. So I bet you the trunk is just as clean as well. So there you go, guys. I think there's not a whole lot of money to be made on this one. What were they listing for? Doggone it. Let's see, buying, saved. Let's see if we can go back in there. 5,000. Okay. Obviously, if they're listing it at 5,000, hopefully you can talk them down to, maybe 4,500. What the heck is going on here? Maybe you can talk them down to 4,500, maybe even 4 grand. And I think you can probably get 65, maybe 75 out of it just because how clean it is. I mean, there is just no rot. Look at that. And hardly any dents. That looks like there's one little whiskey ding there. Um, and other than that, she's clean. So yeah, I think that that was a fair price. Okay, the next one is the 66. So the 66 one, they posted crap pictures, so very few people are going to even mess with this one. It does have rust in the fenders, but no rust in the rockers. Look at those rockers. So that one is a good one. It's got an inline six, I believe. Yeah, it has a 250 inline six with a four speed, four-wheel drive, three-quarter ton. No, that's not three quarter. And a half ton. Dang it. Sorry, guys. These pictures are so horrible. Look how fuzzy these pictures are. Look at that. What are you supposed to see out of that? Good gravy. I can't even look at it. It's so bad I can't even count the lug nuts on this thing. I think this is a half ton. If I remember right, this was a half. It says C10 on here, or it should be K10, but I think that, yeah, I thought it looked like a three-quarter ton for a second there in one of the pictures. But look how crappy. That's pretty bad when you go through half a dozen pictures and you still can't tell what wheel size it is. Okay, so I think that was just the clips for the hubcaps that threw me off. So yeah, I think it's just a six lug. Yeah. So anyway, but look, it's not very easy to find these without having to replace the rocker panels. So this is a good one. Yeah, I jump on that. These things are going for anywhere between five. I've seen them for 5 to 12 grand. Um, sorry, I was really thirsty. I had to have a drink of water. Man, these pictures are horrible. What is there? What is there? I have no idea what kind of camera phone is so bad that it takes pictures this bad. I mean, is this a flip phone from like 2000s or something or what? I can't even tell if that's rust. Yeah, these pictures are pretty bad, so I can't tell. But um, I can tell that there's no rust in that rocker, at least that I can see. So I still think it's worth the money. I think it's worth 5 grand. Obviously, I'd offer him 35, but if I had to pay up to five, I would. And then clean it up, detail it out, and I'd list it for maybe 8 grand. Um, yeah, I think you'd be all right on that. Okay. And last and final, you know how many I am about these Broncos. So this one here, let's see here, goes solid Bronco, bought from a local guy, but never produced a title. So no title. 351 C6 automatic transmission, which is bulletproof combo. That's a bulletproof combo, guys. These C6s were tough as nails on these. Um, and ran one park. Story was the father used it around town, around the farm, passed away, so the truck suffered for a long time. Non-fuel injected. Yeah, so non-fuel injected. That should be fuel injected. 89 should be fuel injected. So somebody's messed with that. No title, make an offer, trade. So obviously he just wants to get rid of this thing. I bet you could talk him down to 1500 really easy, maybe even 1200. But that is a clean body Bronco. Look at how clean the body is on this. And and I've told you guys before, these Broncos are going to do nothing but going up, especially since those 60s and 70s models have shot up. This is power windows. It looks like it's got cruise. Yeah, it's got cruise on the steering wheel. So yeah, this is a pretty loaded one. It wouldn't be hard to get a bonded title on one of these, especially these older vehicles like this. It's got the original wheels. I mean, this whole thing is original, untouched. And so it looks like you're going to put a wing window in it, a rear view mirror, both rear view mirrors. That's weird. So two rear view mirrors and a wing window. And and maybe a headliner, it looks like. But I've seen these in this condition selling for 55 to 6500. And so I think that this is in the money. I don't think you can get hurt on this, especially if you're willing to take the time to get the title on it, which isn't that hard on something this old. And if I was going to keep it and drive it myself, I'd get rid of these auto hubs and I'd put worn selectable hubs on it. But other than that, I'd send it. This thing is in really great shape. I'd want to understand a little bit more about obviously somebody's been messing with a radio or crap. I mean, you can just put all this back together. This is probably just looks worse than it is. The but I'd want to understand why it's non-carb or non-fuel injected. Somebody obviously ripped off the fuel injection and put a carburetor on it, which I don't know why they would do that, but because 89 should be, I know they did. I know in 86 they went fuel injection on the 302. I thought they already did that on the 351 as well. Man, it's been a while since I messed with these, so I'd have to go back in my think tank here and take some time to remember that. But anyway, 351 with a C6, that's a winning combo. That's a solid truck, and you can't beat it for the money. Yeah, that's $5,000 sitting there all day long. So, all right, guys, those are my picks for today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And again, like I said, if you guys have anything that you want me to find, post it down in the comments, and I'll put it in my search and see what I can find, and we'll go from there. And also, if you like any of the vehicles that you saw today, they're going to be down in the description. Take care. We'll talk to you later.